Oh yeah. Feels good.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your girl Songbird, and we are back for your favorite internet show, Polar Opposites, the Melanin Edition.
This is a clean view, man. This is clean, man. Get up in this shot, man. Get up
in the shot.
Get up in this shot. This is clean, man. Look at that. That's clean. Look at this. Black people and black people. So we kind of matching today. I had this on first, y'all. I even put a
You are lying.
Put a bow tie on. Y'all can't see it because of beard. Man, shout out to Beard Game, man. Yeah, big dudes, we make this look sexy, man.
Wow.
One day I'm going to show y'all what's underneath this. I'm going to give you a peek. You know, it's a shiny forehead. See? Yeah.
Spare us.
My forehead just be real shiny. That's what
Please keep that sun under the...
That's just a little peek. Just trying to, you know, help y'all out, help your vision out.
All right, so as you all know, I spend a lot of time on my social medias, on Facebook and Instagram and all of that. Well, today I took a little break from it and I started watching a little bit of TV. I was watching the Steve Harvey show and I saw an episode where this black man did not like his wife's natural hair. So what I mean by natural is that there is no chemical in it. It hasn't been permed. It's in its natural state. So that means she has no weaves. She has no wigs. It's just her hair that grew out of her scalp. And he told her he didn't like her hair. Now that is essentially like someone. That is essentially like someone telling you that I don't like you. But what baffles me is that's her husband. That's the man that proposed to her. Or she may have proposed to him. You don't know. But more than likely, he proposed to her. And he was the one that chose her. And he said he had never seen her without her weave in. He had always known her to wear the long bundles of hair. And that's all he ever saw. And when she said after she came home with her hair cut, he ran out of the house. And said, if this is a wig, take it off. It does not work for me. Now, I don't know how I would process that if that was me. Because like I said, you're essentially telling me that I'm ugly, I'm not good enough for you. And that very well might be, that's gonna put some real issues in our relationship. And you're gonna have to do a lot to make that right, because you just called me ugly in my natural state. Now, if this was your wife, would you, and you like seeing her with her wigs and weaves, would you actually go to the extreme of calling her ugly and telling her that?
I would not. Okay, if I'm a guy, I have a wife, I'm used to seeing her with weave. Well, this is the scenario you're giving. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to make sure I get everything before I answer.
All right.
So, a guy got a wife. She has weave. I'm used to seeing her in that way and in that way only. Am I going to tell her that she doesn't look good in her natural state? Yes. Yes. I'm going to tell her that. And I'm going to tell you why. If that's how I'm used to seeing you, that means that you've conditioned me in that way. You've conditioned me to only see you in that way. So I get used to you in that way. And so now you change, and now you want to put me in a way that I'm not used to seeing you in. Of course it's going to be a shock. Because we fall, and I can't say fall in love. We fall in lust with our eyes first. And so if this is what you're showing me, that who you are, I'm going to expect that. That's just like, you remember the story of the Chinese man who married the Chinese lady, and she was pretty, but then found out she had a bunch of plastic surgery, and the only reason he found out that all his kids was ugly. And then exactly, that's the same thing. You fooled me in the beginning. So the question should be is, who's at fault for this situation? I'll tell you who's at fault for this situation. We're both at fault. Men and women, we're both at fault. One is because we've both moved away from our natural state. So that when we do go to our natural state, we see it as a bad thing. We see it as a negative thing. That's why you see so many females that's in Walmart and grocery stores. You see them in there with this bonnet on their head because their hair ain't did. Well, you have hair. Doesn't matter the length, but you have it. Do it in a nice style and then go. You make it seem like the bonnet is more presentable than your actual hair when it's
Let's stop that. The bonnet is not presentable, ladies. Let's put that out. Don't leave your house with a bonnet on your hair. I can honestly say the furthest I will go is to my trash can, which is about 30 feet in front of my house. Don't go any further than that. Take that in. Sorry.
No, thank you. Yes, that they need to hear that coming from a woman, because when we tell them that, we hate it. We some bitches.
Sis, get a wig. Get a wig, throw it on your head, and keep going.
Now, back to the Steve Harvey thing. I honestly think her husband gay. That's 100%. Because it ain't gonna be no straight man in history. If this is my wife, that I paid all this money for this ring, this is the person I said I'm finna be with, that hair up there on your head, that's not finna stop the show.
But hair should not change how you feel about a person.
That's very true.
It shouldn't tell you, oh, well, you ain't got your hair in right now. I think you're ugly.
Exactly. You shouldn't. From a real man's perspective, you shouldn't. From a fake dude, you gonna run out the house. See, he strike me as one and again, I don't want to say this, but you know how Dante is. You know, if you get offended by this, if you're an islander, you're going to get offended by this. So please stop watching now, because you're going to get offended by what I'm about to say. If you're from any island of, black people island, just don't watch from this second on. For like the next 30 seconds, don't talk.
Where is this going?
All right. So to me, he has an accent, right? He has an accent. So that means he's typically from an island, since he has that accent. Now, most islanders, they are used to this beautiful image of their woman. They want them to have the long hair, and they want them to be gorgeous, and they want them to feel like they have the baddest woman alive. And so she has the long Brazilian, and he was like, yeah, I got me a bad one. Her hair's all the way down, and she stayed with the newest weaves, and she stayed looking this, and she stayed looking that, because that's what they like. They like to feel like they got the cream of the crop. That's how island men are. And so when she took that out, his whole dream shattered. He went from, I got the best thing popping, to, what the hell is this? That's why he acted in that way. And most islanders are like that. Unless they already accept you in their natural form, then you setting yourself up for failure. And this is how I know. You can look at, there are so many bleaching of skin in Africa. There's all of those islands and stuff. Africa, Jamaica, Haiti, whatever. There's a lot of bleaching of skin. They wear just as much weave as y'all do over here in the U.S. They get the booty injections. They get all of that stuff. And those guys get hooked on it. They get hooked on it. They get a taste of this American life through their women, and they get hooked on it. So that's what he did. He got hooked on that bullshit. And she was like, you know what? I don't want to do this no more. I want to just go in my natural state. Love me. He like, I don't do that. I don't have to do it, because you didn't make it a requirement.
The issue I have with it is he knew that this was weave that was in her hair. He knew it, because there are very few black women that have long flowing hair down to their boobs.
True.
Just there. But he had to Is it? Hold on.